Hello and welcome to another update video about LINK. The LINK chart continues to be in the correction. The micro count I shared with you yesterday still seems to be in play. Remember that primarily we are still watching for the price to dip again into the orange support area as the price is working through this quite complex correction that most likely started here around the 11th, 12th of November. We move down in an A wave, have a high B wave, actually slightly overshooting B wave, not a surprise, I warned you about that. And now we have a break to the downside of the corrective price channel. That indicates that this B wave has formed the top, C wave is unfolding, and ideally we dip back into the orange box. Fibonacci extensions, however, that give us additional projections in addition to the standard support zone, they are sometimes more accurate. Start at $13.53. So one more low would be technically enough to complete this C wave, even though I always like to see a C wave end below the low of the A wave. So that would be below 1288. But that's not always the case when we have a high B wave. Okay, so if we don't have a high B wave, I don't trust a C wave that doesn't end below the A. But if the B wave is high and does even overshoot, then it is absolutely acceptable if the C wave ends above the A wave high, even though it is rare. But it often occurs in very bullish market environments. So again, it's just something we have to consider. That you cannot predict that, you can plan for that with your strategy, knowing that it's a possibility and watching the chart very closely, or simply starting to scale in against the $9.75 or $9.50 support level. $9.75 is our Fibonacci support. That's key for the current scenario. That is really the level that needs to hold for us to maintain the idea that the fifth wave continues to move higher later, and continues the uptrend. Whereas we said, okay, look, the $9.50 level is the structural breakout point. Let's use that as key support, okay? Still gives the price a lot of space if it needs it to come down in a correction. But technically speaking, I mean, it doesn't need much more, maybe one more low. It could now be forming here, obviously, this C wave of the correction, and might just be doing this wave 4 at the moment, yeah? Even though I have to say the third is quite shallow, it's quite short. So there will be many different interpretations that you can apply here. I always give you some ideas around microstructures. This could be a 4, but I see right now that third is actually quite shallow. So let's check the fib extensions. It's probably a bit too short. So no, it's actually acceptable. Okay, so it could be the third. That might be a fourth wave triangle with one more low to come. So that's a valid interpretation of the move down. Or we're forming a more extended A wave, yeah, B wave, C wave. So if there is now a larger rally, too large for a wave 4, then it's likely a B wave, okay? That's probably the first thing I would look at, really, if you want to really understand the microstructures. Until then, yeah, looking really at the absolute microstructure, this really looks like a triangle that would emphasize the idea that this could be a wave 4. Wave 4s are often triangles, so you can add a small triangle shape here, more or less, you know, and see A, B, C, maybe D, E, you know, it's technically complete or nearly complete. Even though I don't like the look of it, I would prefer to extend a little bit. But yeah, that's just sort of really micro counting. These can change quite frequently, but obviously not much happened when we look at the bigger picture. Just note that key levels start at $13.52, $13.53. The next level below that is $12.88. There's good Fibonacci confluence around that level, also with that other level here around 12.76. Then we've got 12.30, 11.59, $11. Yeah, these are all levels to watch. And at the moment, it's holding really well. I mean, it's holding well above support. It can't even come close to key support. So, I mean, it is going according to plan in that correction. It was supposed to be potentially a high B wave. We're now coming down in a C wave, as it seems. But yeah, we just still need a little bit more patience, as it seems, until this correction is really complete. That's my update about Link. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.